Hello everybody, and welcome to this joint session between Unily and National Grid. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us at the Gartner Digital Workplace Summit. My name is Matthew Boyd and I'm the product evangelist at Unily. A little bit about who Unily is. We are an organization that aims to help organizations deploy cutting-edge employee experiences that really help to unite their people, technology and knowledge so that every employee can do their very best work. Joined today by Andrew Hubbard from National Grid. Andrew, perhaps you could start by introducing yourself and National Grid.
Absolutely. Hi Matt, good to be here with you. So my name is Andrew Hubbard. I lead on internal communications channels and content at National Grid. Working in the group colleague communications and engagement team. For anyone who doesn't know National Grid, we're one of the world's biggest publicly listed utilities, and our focus is very much on the transmission and distribution of electricity and gas. We've got about 25,000 colleagues. A large chunk of those are here in the UK. And we also have a lot of our colleagues based on the East Coast of America. So really big audience, really disparate audience. Looking forward today to talking you through how we worked with Unily to create Grid Home, our new intranet, to connect all of those colleagues.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us all. I'm sure that our audience today will be very excited to hear about your journey. And I say journey because these kind of programs for improving employee experience, they take time, they take planning to execute, and crucially, they start with a trigger or a set of pain points really that kind of inspire you to do more, to do better with technology for people. Perhaps we could start there, Andrew. Perhaps you could talk to us a little bit about where you've come from in terms of your old or now old intranet solution and kind of pain points that inspired this new rollout.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a legacy intranet called Intranet. I think everyone who's worked in internal communications has probably had an infonet somewhere in their lives. Our infonet was very old and had a number of issues, pain points, as you mentioned. One was kind of search. Nobody could find anything. If you did find something, the chances were it was very much out of date, and you weren't quite sure if you could trust the content that you found. There was no kind of targeting either, so you couldn't really target anything on there. It was kind of hit and hope, and it was just a bit like the Wild West. So what we really wanted to do is ensure that whatever our replacement for Intranet was going to be a real step change. And so Grid Home, which it didn't have a name then. It was kind of the digital workplace program at the time. The idea was that we're trying to address those pain points in turn. So firstly, let's find something with a truly world-class search, because we do need to get people to what they need very, very quickly. Let's get people to know and trust that the content they're seeing is up to date, is managed by somebody, so that when they find something, they can believe that they've hit what they need to. And also, let's create an intranet that is alive. The biggest issue with Intranet is that it was created with the best intentions at a moment in time, but it gathered dust. We didn't have the governance in place to keep on top of that over time. So we needed to make sure that we learned the lessons from Intranet when we move to this new world of Grid Home, and ensure that we've got a living, breathing platform that grows and evolves over time. And actually, grow and evolve was the tagline that the program team here came up with, to kind of help get that across to people. Like, don't worry if you haven't got it, if you can't find what you need yet, you're gonna, because this thing's growing all the time, it's evolving all the time. If that functionality is not there yet, don't worry, it's coming, it's growing, it's evolving all the time. So that's been a huge kind of part of our ethos, I think, with Grid Home as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of those challenges that you mentioned there, around the trustworthiness of the content and the information, I think is it's more common than most people realize. They build something beautiful on day one, but how you maintain that over time is absolutely critical. You're going to end up with a content graveyard, really, more than anything. It's a bunch of dead content that you can't trust. So that's really, really interesting, and I'm sure that some people on the call today will be feeling those similar pain points. So I know that you very kindly have agreed to kind of show us a little bit of where you're at today. So perhaps I can hand over to you and you can tell us a little bit about how Grid Home is tackling those challenges head on.
Absolutely, and I'd be delighted to. So I think the first thing to say while we're waiting for it to load up, you let me know when you can see it, Matt. We've got we've tried to create a unique experience for each user, and I think anyone who's kind of worked on an intranet digital workplace program recently would know that I think the kind of the kind of holy grail for us is to say to people, this is your homepage. No one else will see this version of the homepage, only you. And I'm delighted that we've been able to do that here. What the team has done is we've looked at a number of things like news and information. We've looked at tasks, and we've looked at apps and tools. So the things that you use and the things that you need to see on a regular basis, paired with our employee social network Yammer, basically means that you can have kind of endless combinations of what the homepage experience is, depending on who you are, where you sit in the business, and what you want to see, which is very, very exciting. So look, this is the homepage, and actually the version of the homepage that you're seeing here is a people manager version of the homepage, because I'm a manager. What I'm seeing here is slightly different to what people who don't have direct reports will see, in the sense that I've got people manager tasks here. So if there's stuff that I need to do as a manager, that will prop up on my homepage, and there's quick links through to other things as well. But the rest of it, news, apps and tools, that's all personalized, so you can choose what you want to see there. And the first thing we did when we launched Grid Home was we said to people, right, welcome, now make it your own. And the way you do that is through the personalization tabs at the top here. So people can go into apps and tools. These are the ones that I pre-saved already, but this would be blank if you were first day in Grid Home. And you can look at Office 365 apps that the business has and company apps. Now, I see all apps because I'm an admin of the site, but actually this is a very targeted experience for people. So if you're in the US, if you're in the USA working in electricity, you will only see the apps that are relevant to you here. And we've also added a little bit of useful information. If something has a single sign-on, if something requires additional login information, we've tried to flag that here, so that we can really create an experience that people are, they understand what's happening when they go into various apps. Now, clicking on any one of these will open it directly. So, if you sort of think of your experience, you've got 2 clicks and you're able to get to where you need to get to. And I'll talk a bit about search in a moment. But saving the ones you use on a regular basis, you simply click manage, you can search, tick and untick the ones you want, hit finish, and then once you refresh your page, you'll see it here in apps and tools. So, when I talked about that endless variation combinations to create your own homepage, this is one example of that. And actually, this is one of the most popular parts of Grid Home, because people do use it as a jumping off point, which we're very happy about. And I'll talk a bit about productivity a bit later on. But again, from a world where search didn't work at all to a world where now within 2 clicks you can get to the tool that you need to do your job is a huge leap forward for us.
Yeah.
Apps and tools onto news. So news and information is all tagged within the system, right? So we've got 3 key areas. We've got topics, which is very much kind of the stuff that you're interested in. So whether that's employee resource groups or financial results or whatever it might be, you can select as many or as few as you like. And this is used alongside the locations you want to follow and the business areas you want to follow to populate what you see here in My News. And also for us here on the right-hand side, this is a non-scrolling carousel. We didn't want to have 2 that kind of auto-scrolled. So there's your second part. So you've got news and information that you want to see. Now, of course, as a business, there's things that we need you to see. And that's what you'll see here on the left-hand side. This is all company news, untagged, stuff that's strategically relevant, very important, linked to our projects and campaigns. So, this is the stuff that we want everyone to see. This is what our business units and functions can use in the middle section here, this kind of hero tile. And then this is the stuff that you follow. Above here, we've used a bit of real estate as well to kind of flag key kind of moments in time, whether it's a campaign or a project or a key activity. So quite quickly, you can see that we've got something here that addresses the personalization element, allows us to get people to what they need to get to very, very quickly without having to leave the homepage. And already, and of course the Yammer feed I talked about as well. This is your personal Yammer feed, so that was the quick out for me as well to say, well, definitely we've got 25,000 unique homepages then, because no one else has the same Yammer feed.
That gave you some of the numbers, some of the count, absolutely.
But all the other stuff is very much. It delivers on all those key points, I think. So, yeah.
I mean, I was just going to say,
to dive into some more experiences as well on the page.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, I think what you've done really nicely there as well is you kind of struck that great balance between the communications that you have to deliver and that you really need people to engage with, and also giving them that personalization element as well. So you're kind of balancing those two requirements nicely, I think, across above the fold too, which is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And I think it's the window, isn't it? Getting the homepage right and getting that experience right on the homepage is a big part of winning over the kind of skeptics. And don't get me wrong, the Intranet experience was bad, but a lot of our people were so used to that experience and thought it was, they accepted it. But this is the normal experience. I don't mind kind of scrolling through and finding what I need. I kind of know where it is, or what, I've saved it as a favorite on my own tabs. Not everyone was up for Grid Home, so we did have to bring some people kind of kicking and screaming towards the channel, but we're very much in a good place now. People are very much in favour of where we've gotten to, but this is the window to that world. The other big thing for us was search, right? And getting that right was crucial for us. Now, again, reflecting back on Intranet, you couldn't find anything if you tried. And if you did find something, the example I gave to somebody when I joined, I tried to find a season ticket loan so that I could kind of get my season ticket paid for up front and have it to come out of my salary, which is quite standard for anyone who works in offices in London, or at least it used to be before COVID-19. And I found a document from 2009, and I thought, well, this can't be right, because it's 2019 I joined the business. I thought, this is 10 years old, so this can't be right. Tried to find a new one. No, it was right. This was the document I needed, but because it was so old, I thought this I can't trust this thing. So even if you can find something, it's not necessarily going to be a great experience in the Intranet days. So we needed to address two issues here. One, let's find stuff. So other than the homepage, the second most popular thing on Grid Home, and we can tell through analytics, which is great, is the search. There's two key elements of search. One, this kind of auto pop-up experience you get on the homepage. So if I search for me or anyone called Hubbard in the system, you'll find people, pages, documents, news and events, apps and tools, and locations for us without having to hit return. Now, if I hit return, it will take me into the search center, which does a number of things. Firstly, it will show me everything that's relevant to me, but it will also show me other options if I want to go a bit deeper. Now, relevant to me is a really important thing for us in productivity. So again, lots of people in the US, lots of people in the UK. In the olden days, bad search, you'd get everything, just a whole list of stuff that probably wasn't relevant to you. Now we can say, okay, Andrew Hubbard, you're based in the UK. We know that you're in this team. So let's show you the documents and the news and information that is relevant to you first. If you can't find what you need here, have a look on the global side. And again, we had to take people through this as part of the change to make sure that people understood how this stuff worked. But really have to say that search is working really, really well. We've had a tremendous number of searches, which I'll talk to you a bit more about later as well, actually. So search is very, very powerful. The other thing then is trusting the information you get. So what we've done is, rather than migrating anything, nothing's been migrated on Grid Home. Nothing's been copied and pasted. That would have been the easy thing to do, but it wouldn't have been the right thing to do. So instead, we've recreated everything using a kind of a UX model that we brought in called fish and chips. So it's an acronym, sort of front-loaded, and it's about making sure that when people find the content, it's very easy to scan and very easy to get the information you need. And if you've seen websites like gov.uk here in the UK, you'll see the kind of principles that we've adopted, which is, we're not just chucking images in the middle of a page for the sake of it. We're really trying to help people very, very quickly get the information they need. And if we need to, link out to something else. So an example of that, I guess, would be flexible working. So I've mistyped this on purpose, but I do often mistype words. I've got fat fingers. This is flexible working. So if I'm interested in flexible work, I want to find out what the situation is, right? Now, as you can see, I'm seeing a page here under search. I haven't hit return again, and I've mistyped it, but I'm still finding flexible working UK. It's not showing me the US stuff because that's not relevant to me. But when I go on, when I find the page that I want, what you'll see is we've got nice big headers, nice short paragraphs, and very, very quickly you've got to the bottom of what you need here. So look, if you want to work flexibly and it's for a short period of time, you don't need a formal request. Just talk to your manager. If you do need to go through it formally, here's what that looks like. Here's the link for you to go and request it. And look, here is what that experience is like. So have a chat, make the request, all the way through to appealing the outcome. So as you can see, it's really short and snappy every time. Really easy to engage with this stuff. There's more information on the right-hand side. There's more links on the right-hand side. There's a contact as well. So without having to go in and find a policy document, I've got everything I need very, very quickly. And I mistyped it. So how do you know this stuff is trustworthy, right? That's the second point, because again, what if I needed to find a season ticket document that's more relevant, right? All of our pages like this and all of our documents that you'll see on Grid Home have a 2-year shelf life. They all have an owner or owners, and the idea is that 90 days, 60 days, and 30 days out, we will get an opportunity to engage with those people. So we've got an automated email that goes out to both us as the product owners and them as the content owners that says, 90 days, what are we doing? Is everything still okay? We need to sit down. Do we need to have a conversation? Has that person left the business? Do we need somebody else? 60 days is like amber, and obviously 30 days is like red alert, because guess what? After 30 days, if we haven't been able to get in touch with people, the content disappears off Grid Home. It's a really good way of us being able to say to our people with confidence, we know you can find stuff now, and you know that when you find it, you can trust it. And it's a very important part of what this channel is all about.
Yeah, no, it comes back to what we were talking about before, which is, great to have that central location to go for information. But if you can't trust what you're finding, then, how much value is it really adding? And I think, National Grid have certainly tackled that challenge head on. And I think, using the kind of reminder system, and hopefully you don't get a big wave of things that need renewing at once. But then again, if you do, it's probably for the best anyway, right? And I personally have to say I'm a big fan of the design. I said this to you in our prep, but it's very clean. I think it looks really good. When you showed me the flexible working page before, I was like, that's lovely, really easy to discern exactly what that page is about. Read that summary off the bat without going too deep, but then having all the extra information there ready to click through to. Really nice. I'm sure we could talk for another 20, 30 minutes and show you all the other excellent stuff you guys are doing. I think, as I say, it's really fantastic. But tell us, if you can, in a few quick fire stats, how is your new intranet, new employee experience platform, how is it supporting your business? What kind of usage metrics can you share with us today?
Yeah, I'm really happy to actually. So look, as I say, we launched on the 2nd of September 2020, so we're not a year old yet. And I guess if we focus on some of the key things that I've talked about today in terms of what we were looking to deliver with this intranet, we've managed to, on the productivity side, we've had more than 1 million searches done, well over that now, in fact, because 6 months after launch, we sort of hit that 1 million target. So, if we're looking at, by the time we're a year in, we should have had 2 million searches completed on the system. And again, colleagues are telling us the searches are working for them, which is great. Huge point on the productivity side then is colleagues have said, compared to Intranet, Grid Home saves me at least 30 minutes per week. And actually, when you extrapolate that out, that's the equivalent of 140 days worth of time back into the business every single week, which is massive. We're very, very touched. It's crazy. So we've had 19,000 users now hit our homepage, which is a great number for us. Again, we're an organisation of 25,000 people, so we're delighted to see that a vast majority of our population has now hit the homepage. We've had 4.7 million views of pages in that time from those 19,000 users, which again is fantastic numbers for us. We've had 1,000 news articles created, and we actually won an internal award, a chairman's award here at National Grids at the back end of last year, which was a great achievement for the team. Who have worked so hard on this, and it's a really coveted award here to get a chairman's award. So we were delighted with that as well. Awards are great, but actually what our team is really proud of is that we have a product now that is genuinely helping people at work. You know, we're all very busy people, and what we've managed to create is something that's you know taking away some of those pain points that we talked about right at the top of the session. So yeah, we're delighted with the numbers, but always going to be growing and evolving.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing that story with both myself and the lead-up sessions today, and with everyone who joins us today. That is it for our session. We've really enjoyed it. Andrew, thank you again. So great to have you with us. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll speak to you soon.